All right. All right, it's MTG next door. Oh my God, you thought we were done, but yet Stitch is actually on vacation in Alaska. So Mr. Pink and I are doing craziness. We are doing 1997 rules. We each have a 60 card deck. We each have four of in the deck if you've got it, which, fun fact, turns out we don't in a lot of instances. And it was called No Cards Banned. So there's going to be some utter stupidness right now. We each made two decks, and we're just going to kind of see what happens. Yeah, sound about right?
That sounds about right. Yes, and all of our money back because we shouldn't have done this, but we're doing it anyway.
Yeah, pretty much. Pretty much.
And I've also promised Doc, if the games start getting boring, I'm just going to start going off on economic theory as a lesson to our viewers.
Yep. And after he gets done with that, I will start talking about prostate cancer screening and or hypertensive goals, given all the up-to-date research. All right. Mr. A. Mulligan, I won the roll. I'm not drawing because that's how we play. So I'm going to play an island, tap, Siren Storm Tamer, flying 1/1, blue taps, or blue and sacrifice, counter target spell or ability that targets you or a creature you control, pass.
Cool. I'm going to draw. I'm going to play a polluted delta. I will sack it. I'm then going to go get a land, which will be a watery grave, and I will pass the turn.
All right. Draw. Okay. I'm going to play a Sulphur Falls that Stitch gave me a while ago.
Ooh, pretty.
I know. I'm going to come at you for one.
Oh, man.
I know.
I need to text Stitch. Oh, wait.
I will pass the turn.
I need to do something different with my lands. All righty. I'm going to play an island. I'm going to point out the prettiness of my island. Can you see the prettiness of my island?
That is a very pretty, is that an old school tap symbol?
It is not.
Okay. So
it's the tap.
Oh, crap. Is that an alpha land?
It's an unlimited land.
An unlimited land. Wow. Okay.
Because of the white border.
I'm duly impressed.
Yes. So I'm going to pay 1/2. So he doesn't. Wait, does your thing have flying?
It does have flying.
All righty. Then I'm going to pay 1 and I'm going to cast an Ether Vial.
Oh, no. I actually don't know what that does. I just know it's bad.
At the beginning of your upkeep, you may put a charge counter on Ether Vial. You may, and then during any time I want to, you may tap this, and you may put a creature card with a converted mana cost equal to the number of charge counters on Ether Vial from your hand into play. So I won't need the mana to cast a creature with this. But I have to, if I want to do my 5 casting cost, it's going to be a few turns.
Yeah.
So I will pass the turn.
All right. Draw.
And your thing only counters spells that are targeting your creature or any of your creatures?
Me or a creature.
You or a creature. Okay.
Yep. All right. I'm going to play a Shivan Reef because, as you can see, I did not have a lot of.
Yes, that was an interesting thing. I'd love to have this. Huh, I have 2 of that. I have 3 of that. I have 1 of that. All righty, we'll put them all together.
Yep. I'm going to come at you for 1.
Man.
I will pass turn.
Your parents should have hugged you more as a child.
I know.
I'm going to untap and put a counter on my Ether Vial. All righty, I'm going to need to learn. I do not have enough space here. This is actually kind of annoying. All righty, I'm going to play a land for the turn. It's a Mutavault. You familiar with Mutavault?
No.
Mutavault? I can tap it for colorless, or I can pay 1 and it becomes a 2/2 creature with all creature types until end of turn.
Okay.
I'm going to pay 2. I'm going to cast the Silvergill Adept. As an additional cost to play Silvergill Adept, reveal a Merfolk card from your hand or pay 3. I'm going to show you a different Merfolk, also a Silvergill Adept. Okay?
Gotcha.
When Silvergill Adept comes into play, draw a card.
Hold on.
Are you countering it?
I may, but I want to hear what it all does first.
It's a 2/1.
And that's it.
And that's it.
Gonna ionize that. So counter target spell deals 2 damage to that spell's controller.
All righty. I will pass the turn.
This was also, I'm going to take the shell of a...
I was wondering how long it would take you to get a counter spell out, and that was pretty fast. I did not purposely build around you playing control, though. I mean, I kind of expected it, but I also did not have enough thought process to go, how do I play Doc if he's playing control?
Well, I mean, much like you said, you took a shell and built around it. I also took a shell of the only standard deck I ever played that actually did anything, and it was Is It Drakes. So I was like, well, I guess I'll start with that and go and see what we get from here. All right. All right. I'm going to swing at you for 1.
Woo!
Yeah.
I'm rocking this game.
I know. I am going to think long and hard about what I'm going to do, and I think I'm going to pass turn.
All righty. I'm going to go to 2 counters on this.
I gather that thing is bad, and I should blow it up if I have the chance.
No, it's totally innocuous and causes no problems whatsoever in a game. I'm going to have Watergrave come into play tapped. I'm going to pay. What am I going to pay? I'm going to pay 2. And I'm going to cast a Silvergill Adept.
Okay.
I'm going to show you a Merfolk, so I don't have to pay the extra 3. Also a Silvergill Adept.
All right. I see where we're going with this.
I had 4 of those, actually, so there we go. Are you going to counter that one?
That one I'm not going to counter. It resolves.
All right, so I get to draw a card. I'm going to pass the turn.
All right. At the end of your turn, I'm going to pay red 1, 2, and I'm going to cast Risk Factor. Target opponent, you, may have Risk Factor deal 4 damage to them. If that player doesn't, you draw 3 cards. And I can jumpstart this Mammoth Jamma.
What does Jumpstart do?
You may cast this card from your graveyard by discarding a card in addition to paying its other costs. Then exile this card.
Oh, you get to draw 3 cards?
Yeah, or you take...
No, I'm going to take 4.
All right.
I don't want you having cards. I mean, I have to take it the next time you do it, but yeah, we'll see.
Draw for turn. What does your Merfolk thing do? Is it a 2-1?
It is a 2-1.
It is a 2-1, huh?
That's the extent of it. It did its thing. It replaced itself.
Gotcha. Okay, I'm seeing how this works. All right, I gotta really think about life choices here.
If you jumpstart a card and it's in your graveyard, is it exiled or does it just go back to your graveyard?
It gets exiled.
Oh, okay. So I have to deal with it one more time.
Yep. I mean, unless I've got more of those in here.
That's true. You probably have a few more of those, but okay.
I'm gonna play a Steam Vent, and I'm gonna take...
What did you just different art for the same land?
No, Steam Vents.
Steam Vents. Oh, and you paid 2. Look at there. Some damage has been done.
Yeah, I know. I was gonna say I've just done more damage to myself than you have.
So far.
Yeah.
I'll tell you, I didn't have the other vial in my deck on the first turn, and the game would be different if I had. But I already looked into once, so.
I'm gonna pay red 1.
Okay.
I'm going to pillage the Aether Vial. So destroy
In
target factor land.
response to you doing that, I'm going to tap it. And I'm going to put a Silver Gilt Adept into play. I don't have to pay its casting cost, so I get to draw a card. And then the other valve goes away. Cool?
Yep. All right. And then I need to really get something going here. Otherwise, I'm going to have a problem. So I've got some 2-1s here. Guess, yeah, I think this is how we do it. So I'm going to pay blue. I'm going to cast a Terramander. It's a 1/1 flying salamander drake, and I can pay 7 in blue to put 4 +1/+1 counters on it.
Okay.
Actually decrease that, the colorless part for each instant and sorcery in my graveyard.
Okay.
Yeah.
Which is 1 or 2?
1,
3.
2, 3 right now.
Okay.
So I can do that for 4 if I so desire.
Okay.
All right. I'm going to hit you for 1.
Okay.
Now I'm going to pass the turn and pucker up my stink hole.
Alrighty. Let's do 1, 2, 3. I'm going to cast a Miro Rear Jerry.
Oh boy. I think that's a bad one. That's one of those merfolk I don't have.
It's a Lord. So all my merfolk, other merfolk get +1/+1. Whenever you play a merfolk spell, you may tap, or untap target permanent.
Oh, okay.
Alrighty.
I hear your children rioting in the background.
They are riding in the background. Alrighty, I'm gonna pay 2 life. No guts, no glory. I'm going to, let's say, have the Watery Grave come into play untapped. I'm going to cast a Phantasmal Image, copying the Miro Rear Jerry.
Okay.
All right.
I'm about to take a crap ton of damage.
I'm then going to, and since, whenever you play a merfolk, that's not a merfolk spell. I'm going to attack you for 1, 2. I'm attacking you with a 4/3 and a 4/3.
All right. I think I got to take all 8 this turn.
Okay. I will pass the turn.
All right.
At least I feel like I've done something. I think I was a little slower than I needed to be, but that probably will kill me, but I did something.
Boy, this you got me in a bad spot here. Proud day for you and your family. All
sure.
right.
Let's go with that. Yeah.
Red, 1, 2. I'm gonna discard Grape Shot to jumpstart Risk Factor.
All righty. Well, I can't take 4, so you get to draw your 3 cards. Do you have to pay? How much does it cost to that card? Because I don't even own that card. I don't think.
It's red and a 2, and I don't think it's all that expensive, truthfully. Like, it was a big thing in standard for a minute, and then I think now that it's rotated out of standard, it's probably not all that expensive.
Oh, what's that? Was it from?
It was Guilds of Ravnica.
You know what? I got those cards and the number of them that I looked at. I think that was right around, like that was last year, right as COVID was hitting.
No, it was right after I joined the table.
Oh, it was? Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, you know what? That's probably when I transitioned out of playing standard all the time. My knowledge of what was good in standard and we might want to fit in to a commander deck just went to zero. I mean, I get the cards, but I don't know which ones work so well. I think I relied EDH Rec a little too much.
Fair enough. All right. This kind of sucks. I think what I got to do is I've got to pass the turn now. Yep. I think that's what we do here.
All right.
If you don't kill me, I need to kill you next turn.
All righty. I'm going to make the Mutavault a creature. So it's a 4/4. And I'm going to turn everything sideways.
All right.
Because math is for blockers.
Fair enough. What is your Merfolk Regi?
It currently is, they're both 3/3s.
Okay. How much damage is coming at me?
You've got 3, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 18 damage coming at you.
Shit, son of a bitch. All right. So in response to you declaring blockers, I'm going to pay red. I'm going to bolt one of your I'm going to bolt your original Merfolk Regi. Thank you, Stitch.
Doesn't need to give you toys. All right, so that bumps stuff down.
That's what I decided I was going to have to do. All right, and then I will block the 1 4-drop Merfolk, 2 4-drop Merfolk, and then your other Regi and the Mutavault go through.
Well, hold on. I may want to do something too.
Oh, look at you.
So that'd be 3, 7. And then I will. You know what? I'll leave that. So you're taking 7.
Okay.
In my second main, I will. That doesn't do anything for me. I will pass the turn.
All right. That doesn't really help. That does not help. Guess we do it. All right, I'm going to pay a red. I'm going to cast a Gitu Lava Runner. As long as there are 2 or more instant or sorcery cards in your graveyard, it gets +1/+0 and has haste.
Okay.
I'm going to pay a red and 1. And play a Firebrand Archer. Whenever you cast a non-creature spell, it deals 1 damage to each opponent.
Okay.
I'm going to pay a colorless to cast a Soul Ring, so you're going to take 1.
Oh, wait. In response to you casting the Soul Ring, wait, is it cast or comes into play? I guess it has to come into play.
Whenever you cast.
Whenever you cast. All right. In response to you casting that guy, I'm going to Vapor Snag him back to your hand.
Okay. I'm going to pay 1 and Force Spike your Vapor Snag because I got nothing left.
What does that do?
Counter target spell unless its controller pays 1.
I'll pay 1.
Okay, but then you're also going to take another damage from the Firebrand Archer.
Okay, so that's 5.
Yeah.
Well, it goes back to your hand and you lose a life though.
Curses. Yeah, I'm going to lose, but I'm going to come at you with a Gitu Lava Runner for 2, and then I think you've got me next turn.
That is correct.
Yep.
And I will untap, and yes, I would have done things to you.
Yeah.
Congratulations. That was your first experience with modern Merfolk. Although it's not optimized to whatever the current modern Merfolk is, it is modern Merfolk as of 2017.
Yeah, that was Is It Drake's? It was not a particularly good standard deck, but it's the only one I ever played.
There you go. Yeah, I have part of a sideboard for that deck for the Merfolk. It has some really funny things that you're like, what is that in there? Hercule's Recall. And Ceremonious Rejection, because apparently it has a bad matchup with artifacts. Like, that makes sense.
Fair enough. All right.
Already move on to our B decks.
I was going to say B deck versus B deck.
B versus B.
This one, oh man, this is the less good of the two.
This is my lesser of 2. Although I will say it's significantly more expensive if you go by the pricing of stuff. But that's entirely due to lands that really don't impact the output of the game.
You're
like, well, I'm playing these colors. I might as well throw the stuff in. Let's see how this goes. While we're shuffling, I'm going to ask you something, and you can tell me if you've ever heard the term.
Okay.
Cannibalization analysis. And this is not something you would have learned about people you're working with in the Peace Corps.
No.
All right. So if you are discounting something, be it a price structure that you put in the marketplace, or I don't know, taxes, you can calculate fairly easily how much money you're giving up by whatever discount that you're applying. You know,
okay.
If I lower my rates by 5% or I cut my tax rate by 2%, I can tell you exactly how much money I'm losing.
Okay.
Now, once I know that, I can then factor in what kind of sales increase or economic increase I would need to offset said discount. Okay.
I'm with you.
So you, as effectively a small business owner in the medical world, hence doc,
Yep.
If y'all changed all of your prices by 5%, you could go in and say, well, how much more business do we need to do to make up for that 5% profit erosion that we did? Because it's not just, how much revenue you wouldn't need to get that much more revenue. You'd have to get like a whole lot more revenue because your profit margin's now gone down, right? But, this is a thing to do. And then you can look at the numbers and go, hey, is that remotely possible? If I drop my prices by 2%, will I grow my business by the required 10% to recoup that? And is that even something I want to try and do?
I'm mulliganing, by the way, and I'm also listening.
That's cool. Or if you're a government, you can say, I'm going to drop my tax rate by, I don't know, 13%. I think that's what they dropped it by. You can figure out how much tax revenue you lost, as well as what kind of economic growth you would need over 5, 10, 20 years to recoup it. And then you could compare that with what reality has been. That would be your cannibalization analysis. Are you cannibalizing your revenue source at a level that will not allow you, and I'm keeping, can you break even on the craziness that you're doing?
I
guess it doesn't do that very well, because usually something will get trotted, at least in government, you get trotted out something about the Laffer curve.
Yeah.
But it's an accurate statement used to illogical extremes. But I've also seen businesses do the same thing of like, oh, we'll just cut, we'll cut 5% and we'll grow our revenues by 10. It's like, well, if your profit margin is 50%, you can do that and you'll break even. But most companies don't work with a 50% profit margin. And if you're a government and the highest economic growth you've ever had in the past 30 years. And I don't actually know what the number is, but if you need a number that's like 2% higher than whatever you've had, then it's probably not a good idea to do
that. And yet we did that, what, 2 years ago?
Well, we've done it a lot since the 80s, actually. There was a decent argument back in the early 80s because the taxes probably were too high. And you did get enough growth to overcome it. But nowadays you're hitting this definitely diminishing marginal returns portion of it. And a lot of states are doing it. So like Louisiana's like almost bankrupted themselves. Kansas did bankrupt themselves.
I remember that.
Just because, they call it cutting tax to make it a business friendly environment. And it's like, being able to pay for the services that the business would like, or paying for colleges that produce educated workers seems to be a nice thing for businesses to have too.
They generally like those, I hear.
Yes, but we forgot to roll. Let's roll and see who gets to go first. Probably you.
I got a 19, yeah.
Wow, okay.
All right, you good?
I'm good. So that was my quick lesson. And if you start talking about prostate exams, I will stretch that lesson out forever.
Okay. How about during the next shuffle, I'll discuss hypertensive goals.
Cool.
Okay. I'm going to play a forest. I'm going to tap that forest. I'm going to play an Essence Warden. I know you know this card.
Yes.
But I'll just read it for those at home. Whenever another creature comes into play, you gain 1 life. Pass turn.
All right, I will draw a card.
I'm going to get ready to gain life.
I'm going to play a Bloodstained Mire and go to 19. I'm going to get a land. That's not playing. That's not playing. That's not playing. That's not playing. There's land. We're going to start off with a bad land.
That's a price.
I may have mentioned there's a lot of money tied up in the lands in this deck.
I believe you did.
I will then do something a little different. I'm going to tap it. I'm going to pay 2 life as a part of the casting cost. And I would like to see, through my Thoughtseize, I need to see your hand.
Oh, man. See, I thought of actually making a green-black elves deck to Thoughtseize you back, but I didn't.
All right. We've got an elves, we've got a command, we've got another elves, and we've got a forest. Well, I can't get rid of the forest. We're going to get rid of the cooler elf.
Okay, this one.
That's the one.
There we go.
I will pass the turn.
All right. I will pay a forest. I'm going to pay 2 green.
Oh, we drew something else.
Hey, what?
You drew something else.
Yes, I did.
What'd you draw?
I'm going to play an Elvish War Master. Whenever 1 or more elves enter the battlefield under your control, create a 1/1 green elf warrior creature token. This ability triggers only once each turn. And then for 5 and 2 green, I can make elves +2/+2 and get death touch until end of turn.
Ooh, nice.
I know. I'm going to gain a life off my Essence Warden.
Nice.
Move to combat. I'm going to
get hit by an Essence Warden.
Yep, you're going to take a damage from Essence Warden. And now I will pass turn and see if you've got 4 Thoughtseizes in your hand.
All right, I'm going to play... I'm going to play a Plateau.
Oh my goodness.
I'm then going to tap that for white and a black. I'm going to cast Gerard's Verdict. Target player discards 2 cards from his or her hand.
Oh.
And I gain 3 life for each land card discarded this way.
Well, you're not gaining any life, biatch. Because I'm just discarding a Findhorn Elves and a Primal Command.
So what do you have left in your hand?
That's it, because I had a mulligan too.
Ouch.
Yeah.
All righty. I'm going to put this in my graveyard then. It's your turn. I'll pass as you beat the crap out of me with elves, tiny, tiny elves.
Yeah. Well, I'm going to put a forest down.
Okay.
I'm going to come at you for 3.
3. Oh, man. All right. Is that good?
Yeah, we're good. By all means, cast something that makes me discard again, please.
I'm going to cast. I don't have any of these. Well, that's wasteful. Colligan's Command. Choose 2. First off, deals 2 damage to target creature or player. Your bigger one's a 2/2, right?
Yep.
I will kill that. And then the rest of these do nothing. Because I have no creatures in my graveyard, you have no cards in hand, and you have no artifacts. But it slows down the pain. I will pass the turn.
Oh, hold on to your butts. Another forest.
Sweet. I'm taking another point. There we go.
Essence Warden doing some work.
Pass the turn.
Pass turn. I'd like to draw your attention to the fact that it's a planar chaos Essence Warden.
Nice. That is also the one that I have. I don't know if they've reprinted it. I assume they have.
I think they may have. I can't remember. Mine's a little chewed up, though. It saw some action before it came to me.
1, 2, 3. You know it. You love it. It is also Colligan's Command. I will pass the turn. This may be a less interesting game than the last one. It's your turn.
I'm debating what to do with this card I just drew.
Well, keep it in your hand, please.
No, I know better than to do that. All right. Yeah, I know what I'll do. Pass turn.
Oh, that's funny. All righty. Oh. Glory Bringer. Flying 4 forest and haste, and I can exert it to do 4 damage to target non-dragon creature and opponent controls. You know, it's interesting they point that out, like you could ping your own thing for 4. I mean, I guess that's a thing.
Yeah.
No shenanigans. I'm going to attack you for 4 in the air.
In response to you moving to declare attackers, I'm going to beast within that Mamma Jamma.
So I get a 3/3?
Yep.
All right, let me see if I have a beast. If I don't find a beast, I have a sheep.
There you go. Sheep is just as good, if not better.
Depends on what part of New Zealand you're in. I will pass the turn. Curse you.
All right. Going to pay 3. Imperious Prefect. There may be 3 in this deck. It's a Lord, and I could pay green and tap it to make an Elf Warrior.
I'm familiar with the...
Let's see if she lives. Pass.
I'm going to attack you for 3.
All right.
And I'm going to 1, 2, 3. This is weird. I didn't put this in here for this. I'm going to cycle a Savai Triome.
Wow, look at you.
I don't normally cycle things, but, you know, whatever. I will pass the turn.
All right. Well, that's interesting. Here comes the question.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I do the cool thing, knowing that I'm probably going to die anyway. That's what I think we do here. 1, 2.
No trophies, so you always get to talk about the cool thing.
Yeah, that's kind of my thought here. All right, so we're going to play Natural Order. Look at that. Isn't that pretty? As an additional cost of spell, sacrifice a green creature. Imperious.
Okay.
Search your library for a green creature card, put it onto the battlefield, then shuffle.
All right. I suppose you could have like made the token and then done that next turn.
I thought about that, but then you've got a lot of discard in your deck, and I didn't want to have to discard natural order because that would make me sad.
Oh yeah, that's true. I do. Sorry, I'm not used to playing against discard because it makes no sense in Commander.
Yeah, exactly. So I'm putting Crater Hoof Behemoth onto the battlefield.
Okay.
So here's the battlefield. Creatures you control gain trample and get +X until X a turn, where X is the number of creatures I control. Well, I got one, so it's a 6/6 hasty trampler.
So I'm taking 6.
You're taking 6.
All right, here's 6.
Because, like I said, I got to do the thing that it was supposed to do.
Okay.
Fast turn.
I got you.
But yeah, ideally, I would have had a couple more elves out before I did that. But, you know, you made me discard them all.
I did. All right, I'm going to attack you for 3.
Cool. How many cards in hand, by the way?
I have 3, and I'm going to play one of them.
Wrath of God.
Wrath of God.
All right. Hey, I played a Crater Hoof, and I played Equal Order. That was worth like the collective money of all of those.
That's true. This well, yeah, like I said, all the money was tied up in the lands on this deck.
Yeah.
Although Colgan's Command, you know, was like a $10 card when it was in Standard. I think it's like $1 now, but you know.
Yeah. All right.
Ooh, here's your turn.
All right. Well, that's useless. Pass turn. This would have been really good if I had a couple mana dorks, you know, alive, but you know, I had to discard them.
I understand. You didn't play that card?
What?
I'm gonna him to Turok you.
Well, you're gonna make me discard a Zendikar Resurgent. That hurts.
Which is funny. Stitch hates that card.
I would like to readdress the banning of
it. Certain ones I totally get. So Painful Quandary, which is a very impactful card on normal Commander games, really is an annoying thing to play around, and it's one of the few that's on our ban list. And I'm like, we played it, and I'm like, it's so annoying. I'm okay with that. That one I always had some. I mean, I wasn't going to argue with that much, but I'm like, you have to get to 7 mana.
Exactly.
Granted, in a color that's fairly easy to do, like easier to do that than others, but still, you got to get to 7. I mean, on turn 5, if you get it out, that's your turn.
Yeah. The other thing to remember is, I mean, we also play a lot more enchantment hate these days.
That's true.
Like if you're not packing enchantment hate, I don't know what's wrong with you.
Yeah. All right, I'm gonna pass the turn.
Oh, I don't even need to untap. Oh, here we go. Forest. Go for it.
Sweet.
See, now I feel good about doing the natural order into the thing because, you know, you would have him to Turok my natural order, and that would have made me sad.
Yes, I would have. All right, I'm gonna crack a fetch, and I'll go get a black or a red, which is really. Let's do the trifecta. Scrubland.
Oh, man.
I'll pass.
Oh, boy. Field of Ruin.
Sweet. All good?
Yep.
All right, I'll draw that. Ooh, look at that. That doesn't do much of anything. All right, play a creature. Pass.
I'm going to pay 2 and a green. Tap Field of Ruin. I'm going to blow up whatever is the most expensive land you've got with Field of Ruin.
I think it's Scrubland.
Okay.
Do I get to go get a basic?
Yeah,
or we both get to get a basic.
Each player searches his or her library for a basic land card, puts it onto the battlefield.
Tapped or untapped?
Untapped.
Untapped. All right, there you go.
That was mostly just for the funsies of doing something. Because since that Crater Hoof, I haven't done a whole lot.
It's true. Well, if you got another one of those, you'd win right now. I'm only at 5.
Can I just tell you how I don't have another one of those?
I kind of figured. That doesn't seem like, hey, I need a play set of that. That seems I need one so I can compete in Commander.
It was called Stitch gave it to me for Christmas.
Even better.
Yep. I'm going to play my fancy harmonize and draw 3. Oh, shit. I'm going to play a forest. I'm going to tap that forest to play a Findhorn Elves. Hold on to your.
Nice. So you have 1 card in hand now?
I have 1 card in hand now. Pass turn. I have 2 harmonizes, though, that are of that frame, which is kind of nice.
I will cast Raven's Crime.
What's that?
Target player discards a card, but this has retrace. You may cast this card from your graveyard by discarding a land card in addition to paying its other cost.
So the only one I still had in hand was a 4.
Now, I still have to come up with something to kill you because I'm only 5 turns away from death.
Yeah.
And you can cast pretty much anything that you draw. So what's what I'm saying is you got a chance.
Yeah.
I'll pass the turn.
I felt pretty good there when I casted a harmonize. I was like, all right, back in the game here. And then I was like, and I just draw 2 lands. Oh, sweet. All right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Check this guy. Allosaurus Rider. Power and toughness are equal to 1 plus the number of lands I control.
Which is a lot.
Yeah, swing at you with my Findhorn Elves.
All righty. Well, this may be my last turn. We shall see. That's weird. All righty. I get 1 more turn. Pass the turn.
Oh, you get 1 more turn. All right.
Possibly.
Well, we got another forest.
Okay. I'm going to pass to exile your Allosaurus Rider or Allosaurus thing. So you can get a land. I got to be honest, I wasn't sure whether to go with Path to Exile or Swords of Plowshares. It was racking my brain.
I mean, yeah. Well, I guess I'm going to hit you for another one. MVP, Essence Warden. Second MVP runner-up. Findhorn Elves, apparently. Pass turn.
All right, let's see what we got. Really?
You got to admit the Allosaurus Rider was a cool guy to bring back out.
Well, we're going to do this because I don't have many turns left. I'm going to Lightning you.
I forgot what that does.
Lightning deals 3 damage to target player, and that player discards 2 cards. So you take 3. Yes, worst lightning bolt ever.
Pretty much.
Your turn.
All right, I got to think about this for a second.
You got to think about it. You're top decking.
Yeah, no, I got to think. It's a spell with X, and so I got to think if Crater Hoof isn't in there, what does this need to be? And this is called, I don't know this deck all that well because I made this deck yesterday. All right, you know what? What am I pretending for? 1, 2, 3. And then X is going to equal 3, 6. We're going to Court a Calling, pull this from my Double Masters box. So I'm going to go get a card with converted mana cost 6 or less and put it onto the battlefield.
Okay.
That's going to be.
At this point, we would be thanking our sponsors. But in reality, I'm going to be pondering why the the USPS truck just went up and down my street twice. Oops.
All right, so I'm playing a new card, Canopy Tactician. It is an elf warrior. It's a 3/3. It's a lord, and I can also tap it for 3 green. It is sick, so I'm going to hit you for 2, and this is the closest I've come to winning a game.
All right. Well, this will probably be my last turn, so we shall see what fun can be had. The victory will be yours. However, I will do my thing at the end by doing this. 1, 2, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I will do 8 damage to you, and you discard 8 cards.
Okay, cool. So I go down to 4. That was pretty good.
And that wasn't going to help. That wasn't going to help. All righty, I'm going to save the other spicy secrets for the next when we have the crack back, because what time is it? Oh, it's not even that late. It's like
all right, you want to do 1A versus 1B?
let's do the winners versus each other.
All righty.
Or wait, should we save the winners for last, or go ahead and have the championship now?
Let's save the winners for last, because you got a good look at that deck. I went through that deck pretty far. let's do the losers here.
All right, so we'll do my Mardu versus your.
Is it Drake's?
That's right. Counter spells versus discard. This should be fun.
Yeah. Counter spells and card draw versus discard. And then we'll play our tribal versus tribal.
There we go.
That'll be real fun.
I don't have a Craterhurst Behemoth in my tribal.
Oh.
And that's not an elf.
No, it's not. It's not. Hold on. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Well, that would be an awesome hand if it wasn't for the fact that there was no lands in it. That's going to be a mulligan. All right.
I was doing pretty good there. I mean, my deck did what it needed to do, but, you know, there was a couple of finishers and I didn't draw any of the finishers. So 1, 2, 3, 4.
Well, I just wanted to natural order into a crater hoof once.
7.
Because,
that's not going to work.
You're basically paying like $70 to do that. So you might as well at least do it once.
Yeah, I can see that.
So that made me pretty happy because I just bought that natural order and I've been waiting to play that.
Is it like 20?
I think it's like 10, maybe 12 since it just got that reprint.
Oh, okay. So are you a little annoyed that the reprints of all the fetches have brought the fetches down to between $20 and $40?
Not really, because I bought a Misty Rainforest for $20 like many years ago.
Oh, you were able to do that. Okay. I thought they were higher than that when you started playing.
That was, it was clearly, I'd been watching them. I've been watching them and it was clearly somebody who was trying to get out of playing. And I think he was just trying to unload cards. So I got that one for a really good price.
Okay.
That doesn't hurt me. And then, I got that like collector set for my fetches. And so it was not that big of a deal because mine are pretty and I'd have paid that money for the pretty ones anyway. And now it's just going to make it easy when my box arrives, which I actually called the card shop because they hadn't even sent me a shipping thing. And they said they're just shipping them today.
Okay. I had the mulligan once and I still don't like my second hand. So we shall see how this goes.
All right.
But we just have to roll. We keep rolling. I got 20.
Got a 6. Go for it.
All right. I will not draw. I will play Scrubland, which you hated so much that you had to blow it up. And then I will pay 2. Guess what? Thoughtseize.
All right. Get down with your bad self here.
All right, I can't even read half of what you got there. Let's.
All right,
You know
so
what?
I'll
Why
take
am
the
I not zooming in on your screen? I'm looking at both screens. I'm like, wait a minute.
There you go. We got a recurring insight, an Archmage's Charm, and a Force Spike.
Let's take out the Force Spike.
All right.
Pass a turn.
Blue, pass.
I played 2 whole games with that thought process. I'm like, wait a minute. What are you doing, dummy?
Funny how those things happen. I have a feeling this deck is not going to match up. My deck's not going to match up well against yours here.
I don't know. We'll see. Well, I took a risk. Like I said, I will pass the turn.
All right. Going to play a Shivan Reef. I will pass the turn.
Oh. Pass turn. Fudge.
Damn. Okay.
That's where I was at. I needed something not that. Well, that's why we play the games, right?
Yeah, I guess so. Well, this is very unfortunate for both of us then.
Because you can't counter stuff if I don't cast it.
Exactly. Pass turn.
Pass. Really?
Oh, man. Really?
Yep.
Are you at hand size yet?
Nope. I had the mulligan one, so.
All right. I'm going to pay 1. I'm going to cast a Soul Ring. I'm going to pass the turn.
Here, counter this. George Verdict.
Okay.
Counterspell. Oh, you actually counterspelled it. By the way, I don't like that counterspell.
Oh, I love it.
I like the Ice Age one the best.
Yep.
And maybe the revised one second best. And there's a few of those Mystical Archive ones that I liked, but generally I don't know. I didn't care for them that much.
I was disappointed in the Japanese art counterspell because I would have bought it if it was prettier, but I just didn't like it.
Yeah, I get where they were going. They just missed the mark a little too much. Anyways, your turn.
All right, pass turn.
Whee! Hey, look, it's a mountain. I have all the things. We'll let you do that one. Here we go. Lightning. Counterspell. Sweet.
Well, you're drawing them out.
Yep. Pass turn.
All right. I think this is what I got to do.
See, if I did a red
Opt.
sooner, you'd have no hand.
Draw a card.
That's funny. So I like the Ice Age counterspell better, but I do not like the Ice Age Finehorn Elf.
Yeah, I agree. So I'm going to play Chemister's Insight, draw 2 cards, and I can jumpstart this guy too.
Oh, okay.
1, 2. All right. You're going to hurt me next turn, but all right. Pass turn.
How many cards in hand?
A lot. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
All right. Bloodstained Mire. I'll go to 17. And I will get something. Really? Come on.
If I just had a creature out, I could have been, doing some hits to you here, but
That's true.
What I really needed was 4 Crackling Drakes and 4 Arcane Drakes, and I did not have either of those. So,
Understood.
I also need 4 Terramanders. Didn't have those either.
All right, we're gonna do 1, 2, Slavering Knolls.
Oh, I love it.
Oh, you're familiar with it. Okay, good.
I play that.
At home, Slavering Knolls, when it deals combat damage to a player, if you control a swamp, you may have that player discard a card. And my second card, 2 black, for a Hymn to Turok.
Huh. What am I discarding? How much?
You have to randomly discard 2 cards from your hand.
Ouch. All right. One, two, three, four, five, six. 2, 3. Archmage's Charm and Recurring Insight.
Hey, that's what you had earlier.
Yep.
I still know nothing unless you also drew those same things. But anyway, pass turn.
Okay, that's fine. I'm going to pay 2. Talisman of Creativity.
Okay.
Blue, red. Red, blue. So I'm going to take 2 damage to cast this.
Okay.
Remember I said I needed 4 Crackling Drakes? Well, here's one. So Crackling Drake, flying, 4 star 4. Its power is equal to the number of instants and sorcery cards you own in exile and in your graveyard. When it enters the battlefield, draw a card. Gonna play my land for turn. Fast turn. Only had him sooner.
All right. Bloodstainmire. Crack it. Should point out I have no shocks in my deck.
That, yeah.
2 Scrubland.
Legacy is unapproachable.
Alrighty, I'm going to do 1, 2 for a young pyromancer. Cool?
Yep.
Alrighty. For those of you at home, whenever you cast an instant or sorcery spell, I get to put a 1/1 red elemental creature token into play. And with 2 black, I'm going to cast a Hymn to Turok.
Oh, man. All right. In response to your Hymn to Turok,
Yes.
I guess I might as well do this. I'm going to pay a... Do I do that? Nah, let's see what we got. All right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Wait, hold on. Which whatever one you got, keep that one and drop the other 2.
Oh, okay. Ouch.
What did I get?
Opt and Blue Sun Zenith.
Ooh, and what did you keep?
Not telling.
Stitch has trained me well.
Yep.
Oh, I cast a spell, so I will maybe find an elemental token in my pile of tokens here. I have a green elemental token. We're going to go with a green elemental token because I don't have a red elemental token. Or we'll just do that.
Okay, I dig it.
And I will pass the turn. You're going to beat the crap out of me with like your giant flyer, aren't you?
Yeah, I was actually just counting it up. His power is 9/9, or he's a 9/4 right now because you made me discard like a whole bunch of instants and sorceries.
I'm going to die. It's okay.
All right. What's the young pyromancer? What's his power toughness?
2/1.
And Slavering Knolls is a 3/2?
2/1.
2/1. All right.
2/1, 2/1, and 1/1.
All right. So I think this is how I do this. I'm going to pay a red. I'm going to bolt your Slavering Knolls.
Okay.
I'm going to move to combat. I'm going to send my Crackling Drake at you. And his power is a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So he's at 10-4.
Whee!
I know, right? Now I'm going to pass turn.
How many cards in hand?
I just got one.
Sweet. Did I draw it? I lose. I'm going out in style, buddy.
Cool, do it.
1, 2. Croxa, Titans of Death's Hunger. When
Okay.
here's a battlefield, sacrifice it. But when here's a battlefield, you have to discard a card. So you're either countering it or discarding a card.
Yeah, I'm just gonna do this for the funsies of it. I'm gonna ionize Croxa. So counter target spell and it deals 2 damage to you.
Alrighty. And then with my other 4, I'm gonna cast him from my graveyard.
Oh, okay.
And you take 3 damage because you have no cards to discard.
Okay. So I go down to 12.
Alrighty. And then I'm gonna attack you. It doesn't have haste, does it? It does not have haste. I'm gonna attack you for 3.
All righty. So I go down to 9.
And then I'm dead. So congratulations.
I think so. Because well, it's just another Shivan Reef. But
I'm totally gonna blame my loss on 3 rounds of missing a land drop.
I think that's fair, and I feel like that I should have won a lot faster, but all I kept drawing was more counter spells at a time when I really needed to get some of my like
any creature would have been good for you.
I just needed like one of my pressure creatures, like the D2 Journey Mage. I needed like the Terramander. I needed any of them Drakes. Because you see, when the Drake comes out, then it does some serious damage.
Yeah, if I'd had 2 black on turn 2, I would have had a Thoughtseize followed up by Hymn to Turok, and that's totally a different game.
Yeah, that's gonna hurt.
Yeah, because I took out your 1 drop counter spell, but once you got to 3, I was in trouble. But it is what it is. I did get Croaks out, which is, oh, you know what, I have to show you. So I did have a theme outside of the discard.
I thought the theme was discard.
There was another theme.
Oh no! Oh, that would have hurt.
The theme was stay alive long enough to really annoy you.
Oh, Elish Norn. No one likes Elish Norn.
Yeah, but I mean, it's the 3 Praetors.
I know.
It's the magic version of the 3 Tenors.
I guess so. Yeah, that would have been pretty cool.
Like I said, I had like, okay, I need to play some discard because I can't play counter spells. I can't. It's not, my brain doesn't work that way. Yeah, so, but I can play discard. And, okay, what else do I want to go with discard? So I'm digging through and I'm like, oh wait, I only have 3 Blightnings. I did have 4 Hymn to Turoks, but I only had 3 Thoughtseize. And then I'm just digging through the other ones that make you discard stuff. Like, well, this one's stupid. All right, it's going in because I got nothing better.
I love the fact that they made Turok an actual creature now, so that's fun.
I like how, they're fleshing out old stuff, like the storylines and stuff. Because I mean, I still like the storyline of what they tried to do. Fallen Empire is the best of probably any set.
Yeah.
The cards were all awful. I mean, they basically made an entire set where the strongest card was an uncommon.
Yep.
And okay, well, that's going to be a bit of a challenge. But if you look at it, I mean, it's like, oh, each of the 5 colors has a good guy and the bad guys end up winning. Okay, cool.
Yep, I liked it too.
But yeah, when Hymn to Turok's the best card out of the set, you're like, oh, okay, it's not, or that and High Tide. I mean, okay, these are.
Yeah.
Now the funny thing was when I played back in the day, I didn't really get discards, so you know, I think I was like everybody else, Shivan Dragon, you got to get Shivan Dragon, you know.
Okay, of course.
But if I had played 4 Hypnotic Specters and 4 Hymn to Turox and, you know, maybe 4 Royal Assassins or something, like, I probably would have played a lot better back in the day. I did not do that. I wanted big swingy things.
I liked white weenies with artifacts, and I like to gain life. Didn't work out well either.
Oh yeah, I remember trying I have 4 Ivory Towers and Library of Langs, and I'll just sit here and outlast you.
Yeah, that's how I play.
That doesn't
not a winner.
That doesn't work. All right, so you got 7 cards, so maybe, you know, actually you never had 7. You always had like 5. Like, all right, I gained 2 life this turn. I gained life. Or I do something with just the most convoluted combos out there. So I had one where I had Conquers, you know, 3 and 2 red to steal an opponent's land.
Oh, there you go.
Okay, so that's, the 5-drop needs to not do what that does as a 5-drop. And so I steal your land and then have a Zurin Orb so I can sack your land for 2 life. And then I have a Skull of Orm, which requires 5 mana to activate. So I can get my Conquer back from my graveyard. So for 10 mana, I can eat one of your lands and gain 2 life.
Yeah, that seems like a good plan.
As you can imagine, that I was usually dead before that would become a thing.
And that was why games used to take multiple hours.
Correct. Well, you'd have sometimes you'd have verses and sometimes you'd have combos. And you got an 8, I got a 3, so it is your 1. Let's see. 2, 4, 5, 6, 7. I'm gonna keep.
All righty. I keep 2. You ready?
I'm ready.
Forest, pass.
Let's kick this pig. Polluted Delta into a tapped Watery Grave, and I will pass the turn.
All right. That helps me not. Forest, pass.
You should have had 4 elves in play by now.
Yeah, I should have. I had forest, but then I did not have. The rest of my opening hand was not amazing.
Yeah, I feel bad for you.
Yep.
I will play a Cavern of Souls.
Ooh.
Naming Merfolk. I will play a. What will I play? I will play an Ether Vial. I will pass the turn. That's what I drew turn 2. I wanted that turn 1. It's a totally different game if you have that in turn. It's actually funny if I did play like one modern tournament somewhere along the line, and I dropped Ether Vial in turn 1, and everyone went, Merfolk! You're like, oh, okay, everybody else knows that too, huh?
3, Imperious Perfect, pass.
Okay. Counter. Draw a card. I'm going to. Polluted Delta. Oh, I forgot to lose my life before, so I'll play Polluted Delta. I will go get a. What am I getting?
Yeah, discard only works in Commander if you're making everybody discard, and that's a little bit tougher to do.
You can do it in Oathbreaker.
Yeah.
I do have a sweet spot for discard though.
You can put that in my, like, I just can't play that way.
Fair enough. Fair, very fair.
I thought about making a Madness deck, but I just haven't gotten there.
Right. All right, I'm gonna do 1, 2, 3. I'm gonna cast a Miro Rearjay.
Oh, that fucker again. Okay.
Rearjay. You pronounce things better than I do. Reejerey.
I think it's Reejery.
Reejery?
Yeah.
Okay. That dude. Superfish. Fast turn.
All right. When what is it? When you cast a merfolk, you get to tap something. Is that how that works?
Tap or untap target permanent.
Gotcha. Okay. Just trying to decide how much time I've got before I die. 3.
I expect you to die, Mr. Bond.
Make a
token.
Yep, there we go.
Sweet.
There we go.
Pass.
Pass.
Oh, well. All right, I got to take 2 life to go to 16.
Done more damage to you than I have.
Yes. Yes, you have. All righty, we're going to do 1, 2. I'm going to cast a Spreading Seas on one of your forest.
What's that do?
Makes it an island.
Oh, okay.
So I can draw a card. Oh, I didn't need to do that. Oh, well. I will pay 1, 2 to cast a second Spreading Seas on a different forest. So it is also an island, and I will draw a card. Huh. Wow. Okay. I totally played that wrong. I will tap my other vial to put a Lord of Atlantis into play.
Ah, there we are.
And I will attack you with Island Walk with my 3/3.
All righty. I was wondering when I was going to see that guy.
Yes. I will pass the turn. I'm not cool. These are time spiral ones.
Yeah.
I like the black border better, and it's one of my favorite arts. Melissa Benson is by far my favorite magic artist. I even have a autographed merfolk that Stitch got me for Christmas one time.
Ooh, that's really nice of him.
I didn't always used to be. I'm actually not really a merfolk player. I just, when we got back together and I didn't know how to make a deck, I used to get my butt kicked by someone who played a merfolk deck. I'm like, well, let me buy that one, and it was cheap, and so he thinks I'm amazing at these things. Natural order, so I forgot. Is it just flip to the top or?
No, it hits the battlefield.
No, I'm saying you natural order. You sacked your token, and it's any creature or what?
Any creature. So it is an additional cost of the spell. Sacrifice a green creature.
Okay. Oh, that's the one you played before. Okay, sorry.
The library.
There's another one that's
card. Put it onto the battlefield, then shuffle.
Am I dead?
I think so.
Really, dude?
I think so.
Okay, let's see what you got.
So Crater Hoof is so I got 1, 2, 3, and they've all got also he's an 8/8. She is because she gets +1 from the other one, so she's a 3/3. She's a 6/6, and she's also a 6/6. So that's 12, 20.
That's 20, and I can only block 2. And I can block 3, so that kills me.
Oh my gosh! Natural order into Crater Hoof. Butter my butt and call me a biscuit. Stitch, that one's for you, buddy.
Well, I have to do some quick. You know, it's funny. So I played the Watery Grave, and I shouldn't have because I drew a land with the one that I pulled up, and I should have bounced it out. And so, well, no, that still would have killed me. But I'm trying to look at my next hand. So I could have played 3. I could have cast this guy. I could have copied it. And you would have taken, how would my math do? 1, 2, that's 4 plus 5. That's only 9 next turn. Yeah, that wouldn't have taken you out. Good game, sir.
Good game. I was actually sitting with a pretty good hand here. I had Court of Calling, I had Ramp, I had a Beast Within, and I had Eladmari.
Yes.
And then I just top decked the Natural Order, and I was like, well, I think I win now.
Yes.
All right, good game, dude.
I did not get as many of my lords as I wanted. Now we can play the Ultimate Champion versus. Is that the ones that hasn't played?
No.
We've not played your elf versus. What have you not played against? Wait,
Yeah,
we've got them all.
We just played winners versus winners.
I only won one game. Oh man.
Yeah, sorry, bro.
That's okay.
All right, should I stop the recording?
Yeah.